Oh, I hear sound.
You hear
that
sound?
Must mean we're on.
I hear music. I'm Rod Hill. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning. I'm Chris McGinness.
You know, I remember yesterday, we're going to talk about rainfall real quick. I remember yesterday seeing one of our computer models, and it was showing not much for Portland, which was an accurate projection, and it showed parts of the beach getting 2 inches. And then later, when I'm looking at reports from the National Weather Service, I see that, holy cow, Tillamook County had, at the airport in Tillamook, 5 inches of rain, ending the 24-hour period around 5 o'clock yesterday.
Which is clearly not unheard of, but
right.
It's not certainly not a frequent occurrence this winter.
Yeah. So that was crazy, and there are some high water issues likely still standing at this hour. So let's go ahead and get you to the weather maps. Today's a day very similar to yesterday for most of us. Generally some light rain, or gentle rain, I like to call it, coming through. Very mild atmosphere. The good news is there are no signs, and Chris is going to talk more about this, but there are no signs of any heavy rain totals over the coast. But this is what fell ending 5 o'clock more or less yesterday afternoon. Tillamook 5.01. I mean, Newport was no picnic, over 2, and Astoria had 1.21. Several folks sending pictures from Rockaway Beach. KD Wilson sending this one. Lots of low-lying land there getting kind of swamped with high water. We hope that goes down fairly quickly. And then on the opposite end, just for fun, I love this picture from Jenny. She says, hey, remember us out here in LeGrand with a foot of snow on the ground? She says their cold winter precip, though, did transition over to rain during the day yesterday.
Anthony Lakes is going to be doing pretty well.
Yeah. And then part of the story today, of course, is the mild temps. And that means high snow levels. So there's government camp at what time is it? 8:42 in the morning on this Thursday, approaching 40 degrees right there with a wet road and nothing but some rain showers in the forecast for today. They could get into some heftier amounts. 51 in Portland, and that's in the morning hours. You know, we have the highs today and tomorrow in the mid-50s, and the record today is 59. I mean, stranger things have happened. We'll be keeping an eye on that. We still have the drier weather coming on Sunday and Monday. I didn't see, I know at one point yesterday for the folks at the coast, Chris, the Weather Service had a urban flood advisory up. It didn't look like this really impacted like the, I can't think of the river that runs along the Wilson River Highway.
The Wilson River Highway. Oh, the
Wilson River.
Yes, the Wilson River.
Oh my God,
yes.
I can't
the Wilson
think
River
of
Highway.
The river
what is the name of the Wilson River Highway?
Anyway, that did not go over flood stage as far as I know.
Rod is still basking in the glow of his Chiefs Super Bowl victory.
Oh my goodness.
Foggy. So more specifically on that, let's get to the traffic map right now, because that is still closed as of 8:45 on. What day is this? Now I'm doing
on Thursday.
Thursday
on
morning.
Highway 6.
Yeah. So Highway 6 is actually closed about a mile east of Tillamook right now. There's a very simple local detour to get around this, and I'm sure the locals know that is an area that typically does see when we have heavy rain. That's an area that can be susceptible to that. So that is one area that's closed right now. There is, again, local detour to 3rd Street, so that's not too huge of a deal. But impactful. And the other issue, the historic Columbia River Highway was closed for quite a bit last week because of a slide out in the Columbia River Gorge. Well, now we've got another one that happened late last night, early this morning, near the Stark Street Bridge. ODOT put out this photo. It's a little slide, right? But it's certainly a danger. And now they've got the road closed again to go clean up that slide.
Are we still dealing with? I don't know, the worrying about burn scars out in the gorge? Or you think that's past from the Eagle Creek fire?
Actually, it probably gets worse. From everything that we heard from soil experts, forestry experts, it's not typically the first year or the second year, but it's the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th years, because that's when the roots, as part of all the trees and vegetation out there, that's when those roots are actually thoroughly decomposing, and literally, instead of being a nice fine mesh that's holding the soil together, that's when they have become soil because they're dead. And so now and we already had, obviously, I think the case in point was with a very heavy January rainfall that we've already had. That's probably set up pretty, unfortunately, nicely for the slide that we had last week. So now we got a little one on the Troutdale side. Let's go back to the map real quick just to show you, we are still looking at rainfall forecast of, better than an inch or two in the coast range between now and midnight Monday. So, we're going to add more to that. But
that's interesting. As I think this is a fair statement. The news it was foremost on our mind, those burn scars in the gorge.
Immediately that fall.
Immediately after. Every time there was an event, we were going burn scars, watch out for landslides, et cetera, et cetera. And for the most part, nothing significant happened in that first year.
It's 2-3 years down
is good.
That the concern is, again, those roots are now thoroughly gone.
Yeah.
And if we were to sustain, I think, beyond this point, another month or two of heavy, like say March comes in and we suddenly get some, astronomical 10-inch rainfall month, and that could be another problem.
I know these outlooks change all the time, as you likely know at home, and certainly we know as meteorologists. The last Sunday when I was doing some outlook work, it showed a pretty wet February, or at least normal. And then maybe
about 3 to 4 inches of rain.
Drying out a little bit in March, this particular outlook I looked at, and then April picking up and being quite wet going into May. But who knows? But
that'd be good because
really wet springs.
In terms of fire season, that'd be good, right? Because last year was a ridiculously dry May. As I recall, what do we have? About 1/10 of an inch of rain in May.
Oh my gosh, Chris.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure.
Smile for the cameras, because I don't remember.
Pretty sure. We've got time to check back on that, and you can. Don't quote me on that.
Now I want to know.
Well, now he's got his book. So
now I want to know. So let me get May of 2019.
One of the driest Mays on record.
Well, 1.51. That was about an inch below normal.
Or was it April?
And then let's see here. April, sir. No, that was above normal. June 0.45. That was really dry. Maybe that's what you're thinking of. June 0.45 inches.
No, there was a May in there. You know what?
All right. You know what? Sometimes you hear things on TV that just aren't true.
No. Now I'm going to go verify. It might have been May of 18 then.
Okay.
So I'm going to go check that out. We promise we have answers sometimes, or at least we like to pretend like we have answers.
We're being told to say goodbye.
Goodbye.
That's probably a good idea. Goodbye.